Please welcome your host for the evening, award-winning journalist, entrepreneur, and host of the weekly syndicated political show, Matter of Fact, Soledad O'Brien.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to this very special evening, the awards gala for the 83rd annual Regeneron Science Talent Search. I am honored to serve as your host tonight as we recognize and celebrate 40 remarkable students. The Regeneron Science Talent Search, a program of Society for Science, is designed to identify and nurture the next generation of scientific talent. For more than 80 years, STS has provided a forum for the country's best and brightest young scientists to present original research to nationally recognized STEM leaders. Together, Regeneron and the Society are committed to continuing the STS tradition of rewarding and encouraging exceptional high school seniors for their pursuit of excellence in science, math, engineering, and medicine. Each of the 40 finalists will receive a minimum award of $25,000. Yes. And then later tonight, we will present the top 10 prizes, including the first place award of $250,000. So here is a little bit more about the history of the STS program.
Established in 1942, the Science Talent Search is the nation's oldest and most highly regarded science competition for high school seniors. Since 1942, over 165,000 entrants have applied, more than 25,000 have been named scholars, and almost 3,320 have traveled to Washington, D.C. Past competitors have been awarded more than $37 million and some very prestigious prizes. The 40 finalists are the scientific and engineering leaders of tomorrow. They'll shape the future and invent the world our children will live in.
It's my pleasure to present to you the Regeneron Science Talent Search class of 2024.
Live from Washington, D.C., it's the Regeneron Science Talent Search Awards Ceremony. Please welcome back tonight's host, Soledad O'Brien.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to all of you here at the National Building Museum and to those of you who are joining us online. We are here tonight to celebrate the finalists of the 2024 Regeneron Science Talent Search. Regeneron STS recognizes and empowers promising young scientists who are generating innovative solutions to address significant global challenges. By identifying future leaders in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STS provides students with a national stage to present new ideas and challenge conventional ways of thinking. For more than 100 years, the Society has been dedicated to fostering the growth of young scientists and to public engagement in science. In addition to STS, the Society owns and operates two other science research competitions, the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair and the Thermo Fisher Scientific Junior Innovators Challenge. The Society also publishes the award-winning magazines Science News and Science News Explores. Tonight, our finalists will receive over $1.8 million in awards, and in total, more than $3 million in awards will be presented to the 2024 Regeneron STS finalists, scholars, and to their schools. Through its program, Society for Science is committed to expanding the public's scientific literacy, scientific research, and access to STEM education for all. The Society's mission is to promote the understanding and the appreciation of science and the vital role that it plays in human advancement to inform, to educate, and to inspire. So now, I am pleased to introduce to you Maya Ajmera, President and CEO of Society for Science and Executive Publisher of Science News. Prior to leading the Society, Maya founded and led for 18 years the Global Fund for Children, which has invested nearly $60 million in innovative grassroots organizations serving vulnerable children and youth around the world, touching the lives of more than 10 million young people. She's a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, an award-winning children's book author with over 20 titles, and has held several academic appointments at Duke University and Johns Hopkins University. She is also an alumna of the 1985 Science Talent Search. So please join me in welcoming Maya Ajmera. What a pleasure. It's so nice to see you.
Great to be here.
So, just celebrated 100th anniversary, the Society for Science. Tell us more about Society for Science.
Well, you know, the Society for Science, as you said, we just celebrated our 100th anniversary just a year ago. And we were co-founded by the publishing magnate E.W. Scripps and zoologist W.E. Ritter. And 100 years ago, they were very worried about misinformation and disinformation of science in newspapers. Go figure. So they created the first sort of cadre of science journalists, and it was called Science News. You know, the Society for Science is best known for three things: our award-winning magazine, Science News.
Yes.
Thank you. Our world-class science research competitions, the Regeneron Science Talent Search, the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair, which is the largest pre-collegiate STEM competition in the world, and the Thermo Fisher Scientific Junior Innovators Challenge, which is the premier middle school STEM competition in the United States. And then the third leg of the stool is a suite of outreach and equity STEM programs, making sure that every young person in this country can become a scientist or engineer if that's what they want to be when they grow up.
You are coming up on 10 years of leading Society for Science. Do you have a proudest accomplishment?
You know, I actually have three. My first is we really listened to parents and middle school teachers. They're very concerned about the middle school age group and scientific literacy. So we listened, and we created a magazine called Science News Explores, which has been in publication now for its second year. And then our second, I think, accomplishment that I feel great about is the millions of students and thousands of teachers we reach each year. We have 4 programs. We have a mentorship program, making sure that young people in this country can compete in research competitions. We have a teacher training program, really supporting teachers to build science research programs in their high schools and middle schools. And our third is building scientific literacy across the country. We're in 6,000 high schools, reaching over 18,000 STEM teachers and over 5 million students with Science News in the classrooms being used and taught. And then lastly, we give out grants to innovative nonprofit STEM organizations, as well as supporting STEM teachers. And then lastly, I'm really proud of our partnership with Regeneron. It is an extraordinary partnership. And they have really joined hands with the society, as I said, to make sure that every young person in this country can become a scientist or engineer, if that's what they want to be when they grow up.
That's a good list. I like it.
It's a great list.
Can you tell us how Society alums, maybe especially the Science Talent Search alumni, have contributed to the world?
Absolutely. So we have over 80,000 Society alumni across our competitions. Our Regeneron co-founders are STS alums, which you'll hear more from George later. But the thing that's getting me excited right now is how many alumni are at the forefront of AI for good, artificial intelligence for good. I'm going to need some help, so let's throw up some photos, because I want to share some of these extraordinary alums. There's Rajan Seth, who's STS 1994, who founded Chiron Learning, which uses AI to help bring about equitable access to education through interactive lessons. We have Lester Mackey from STS 2003, a senior researcher at Microsoft, who's pioneered statistical and machine learning techniques to solve data science problems in medicine and climate science. He was awarded a MacArthur Prize last year. We have Greg Brockman, STS 2007, who co-founded OpenAI. His work has democratized AI in applications such as ChatGPT, as well as its open source contributions. And then we have Emily Acasio from last year's STS, where she used AI to examine hidden biases about homicide victims in media coverage. It's a pretty impressive group. I could keep going on and on.
It's a very impressive group. What are your hopes for this year's class, the class of 2024?
I would say to the finalists, never lose your curiosity. I would also say, be ruthless interdisciplinarians. You cannot solve the challenges in front of us by being stuck in one discipline. You have to think about a lot of disciplines to solve our challenges today. And lastly, I would say to the finalists, you must pay it forward. We're really looking to you to inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers, but we're also looking to you to solve the world's most intractable problems. And I don't know about you, but I sleep a lot better at night knowing that they've got our backs.
Absolutely.
Soledad, thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And of course, thanks to everyone at the Society for their support of our nation's aspiring scientists. Next, we're going to hear from another STS alumnus, Dr. George Yankopoulos, the co-founder, board co-chair, president, and chief scientific officer of Regeneron. Regeneron is a leading biotechnology company that invents and develops life-transforming medicines for people with serious diseases and is on the front lines developing treatments for eye diseases, allergic and inflammatory disease, cancer, and many other conditions. Regeneron is deeply invested in fostering the next generation of STEM talent to continue its legacy of scientific innovation and impact. Through Regeneron's commitment to equity in science education, it supports numerous outreach programs, ensuring as many talented kids as possible and their teachers have the resources necessary to pursue their passions for science. Dr. Yankopoulos is a member of the National Academy of Sciences and has served as Regeneron's lead inventor and drug developer since the company's inception more than 35 years ago. Dr. Yankopoulos, with his team, have invented 12 FDA-approved or authorized medicines, as well as the underlying foundational technologies leading to these medicines. He's been pivotal in creating the science-driven culture at Regeneron, earning the company widespread recognition. So please join me in welcoming Dr. George Yankopoulos.
Thank you, Soledad. Good evening, everybody. It's my great pleasure to be here to celebrate our top 40 Regeneron Science Talent Search finalists. I get asked a lot why we are so committed to programs like the Regeneron Science Talent Search and the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair with commitments of over $170 million. It's because it's deeply personal to us. because so many of us at Regeneron, like so many scientists in general, owe our beginnings in science to the teachers and the programs that engaged and inspired us in high school. It's our way of paying it forward to make sure that many of those in the next generation will get the same sort of opportunities that we did. Especially because we all know that the world right now has so many challenges that so desperately need the answers that they can only get from the next generation of scientists. I want to share a little bit of my story, as I think many of this year's finalists might be able to relate to it and may offer them some insights into the ability that they actually have to make a difference, but also the obligation that comes with that ability. Like many of this year's finalists, I grew up in a poor immigrant family. Both my parents worked multiple jobs, so my most constant caretaker was my beloved grandmother, or Yaya, as they say in Greek, who never herself spoke a word of English. When I was 13 and starting at the Bronx High School of Science, my beloved Yaya developed rapidly progressing Alzheimer's disease. And I was devastated. I was very lucky to have taken that test that got me into this very special New York City public high school, the Bronx High School of Science, which had the amazing teachers and amazing science research programs in place, which back then very few schools had. And it was right then and there that I decided that 13-year-old George would cure my grandmother. With the help of a remarkable teacher, Mrs. Strom, I embarked on a science talent search project initially focused on regenerating neurons as a path towards helping my grandmother. As you might guess, I did not end up saving my grandmother. But I ended up getting recognition for my projects. And like the students here today, I became a finalist in the Science Talent Search and even one of the winners. The whole process changed my life. Most importantly, by giving me the belief and the confidence that perhaps I was good enough at science to someday make a difference. And that belief helped me to decide to devote my life to trying to cure disease, and particularly Alzheimer's. In an unbelievable full circle story, a few years later, I met another Science Talent Search alum, Len Schleifer, who convinced me to join him in starting a biotech company that focused on our shared interest. Regeneron is short for our shared dream of regenerating neurons. So in a bizarre and strange way, I am still working on my high school science project. It's humbling that we at Regeneron, but actually the entire scientific community, has not made much progress on that first disease that I tried so desperately to fight back against, the disease that took my grandmother. That just highlights how hard fighting disease is. You can quantify it. It is quantifiably perhaps the rarest and hardest things achieved by humans and by science. But along the way at Regeneron, we have managed to use the power of science to emerge as one of the most successful biotech companies in history in terms of fighting disease. You've heard that we've invented 12 FDA-approved or authorized treatments, including the world's leading treatments for certain types of cancer, for allergic and inflammatory diseases, and even the first cure for Ebola. I want to end with a story about one of those treatments that we invented that fights blindness. And this goes back to the very first year that Regeneron was sponsoring the Science Talent Search, back in 2017. It was right here at the annual gala that an elderly gentleman named Don Harless came up to me. He told me that he used to be in charge of the Science Talent Search. You just heard from Maya Ejmerma. He was the Maya Ejmerma equivalent back then. But he had long been retired, and he hadn't been to a gala for years. He told me that he was the one who handed me my winner's award back at the gala in 1976, just as Maya will hand to tonight's winners. Many years after that gala, in his 80s, Don Harless started to go blind from age-related macular degeneration. And he was devastated as he was losing his independence. He could no longer read or drive. He couldn't even recognize his grandchildren any longer. But a doctor told him that there was a new miracle drug that might be able to save his vision. Incredibly, he took this medicine. It gave him back his sight, his life, and his independence. And in fact, he told me he had driven by himself all the way from the Midwest to DC to come to the gala. That's how independent he was. When he looked into this new medicine, he realized that the scientist who had invented it was the kid that he had given a winner's award to back in the 1976 Science Talent Search. And that this kid had started a company and invented a number of new medicines, including the one that saved his vision, and had even taken on sponsorship of the Science Talent Search itself. So Don Harless felt he had to come to the gala to tell this now grown-up kid this story. I wanted this year's finalists to hear this story, to help them understand and get that belief in that ability that they now have demonstrated inside of them, and the obligation they also now carry. I, together with my amazing team at Regeneron, and frankly, all the scientists of our generation, we're going to continue to fight back against disease, including the Alzheimer's enemy that I've been battling since high school. As I often say, we are never going to give up. We will go down fighting. But we will go down. So we need the next generation to step up and to carry on the fight. Not only against disease, but all of the other existential threats facing humanity that can only be solved by scientists doing science the right way. So finalists, tonight, as we celebrate your achievements, remember that this is not just a competition that you're participating in. You are the next in a long line of those committed to using science to make a positive impact in the world. You have been recognized for your extraordinary ability, but with that comes extraordinary responsibility. We are all counting on you, and we can only hope that in the years to come, you will create your own stories of how you have helped and changed the world by pushing the boundaries of what is possible and what is now impossible. You are the future, and we are very honored to support and work with the Society for Science in its mission to inspire you, the next generation of innovators and thinkers. Thank you all, and I'm looking forward to your stories. I wish you the best.
That was an amazing story. That was fantastic. Thank you, George. That was an incredible story. And again, a big thank you to Regeneron for their ongoing dedication to STEM education. Tonight's STS finalists have experienced an unforgettable week here in Washington, D.C. They met in person for the first time just last Thursday and have since embarked on an action-packed schedule of rigorous judging interviews, meetings with prominent scientists and government leaders, and then sharing their research with the public. They have toured monuments and visited the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. They participated in panel discussions with scientists from Regeneron and visited congressional offices on Capitol Hill. They went behind the scenes at the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History's Department of Gem and Minerals, the National Gallery of Arts, Scientific Research and Conservation Center, Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Lab, and Georgetown University School of Medicine. Whew. So we would like to share just a little glimpse of what they've been up to. Take a look.
The dream is part-time rock star, part-time astronaut.
What's my favorite biome? Wait, this might not be scientific. Forests. I like them for running and hiking.
The rainforest. It's just so many different species there. I wouldn't actually want to go there.
Well, can it be nerdy? The microbiome.
Okay.
This is like, oh, if you do research, this is like where you want to be as a high schooler.
I've been dreaming of this for a long time.
It really was a lifelong goal of mine to be an STS finalist.
I have read science news for so long, and I've always seen like the STS finalists printed on there.
A couple other kids in my school had been a finalist in scholars, and they're like star scientists, like star students.
I felt like those like top 40 like little like celebrities, you know?
My science teacher called it like the Oscars, and I was like, oh, so is this important? I was like, oh.
This year's finalists for the Regeneron Science Talent Search was the most competitive pool ever. We had our largest number of applicants we've had since the 1960s. And that is a true testament to these young 40 finalists who are here, that their projects, their research really stood out to the top.
I think it's prestigious because STS looks into a lot of characteristics of a senior in high school.
It's those nuances that they look for, as like scientific leadership, ability to communicate your research properly.
If I had to describe STS, I would say challenging, but awesome.
It's truly awesome. Intensive, but like in the best way possible.
I would say that it is empowering.
Surreal. A few weeks ago, I got a call when I was just like in Spanish class, and now I'm just like here getting interviewed.
I think STS is actually one of the things that got me into research, but I never actually planned to apply.
That's what I thought at first. I don't fit up to this standard. There's no way this is gonna work out. But it did.
I never thought that I would like be in the White House. I never thought that I would like be able to have these sort of conversations.
We got to meet some amazing people, advisors to the president. If the executive office at the White House is willing to invite us there, it shows that they really believe in us.
I'm not even too stressed about judging anymore because it's like, I'm already here, yay, let's like make the best of it.
The competition is an exciting part of it, but we're really more focused on the community aspect.
Even though there are 40 finalists, when you're here with them for like 24, 48, 72 hours, you do get to know them pretty well.
It's more like we're one team and the judges are another team, and we're trying to fight the judges.
The STS experience, there's a reason why it's called an experience. It has to be lived.
I honestly don't want to leave. I feel like the week is going too fast.
We're doing so many new things and being able to be exposed to so many opportunities that we would have never had otherwise.
I'm really excited for Public Day, where we'll be able to kind of meet the public and present our projects to them. I've always found that communicating my science is one of the most rewarding parts for me.
I think at the STS right now, it's very representative of what the problems are in the world and what the upcoming researchers are trying to solve.
There's a lot of projects, but the really cool thing is there's a lot of applications of AI across a lot of subjects. So computational biology, chemistry, like molecule configurations.
I've seen so many amazing things that are being done. People that are building prosthetics, quantum computing, biomedical imagery, and advancements, like real advancements in this field.
Everyone's projects are things that I wouldn't even have thought of or I didn't even realize were problems. So I'm not only leaving with 39 friends, but I'm leaving it with 39 different ideas of science that I didn't even know were a thing.
I think this is a week full of exposure to science that I haven't been exposed to, and that's really gonna help me grow.
Just like me, so many other scientists in the world, so many others at Regeneron got their start because somebody engaged them in doing high school research. What we're trying to do is just trying to make sure this keeps going, that the next generation of students are going to have opportunities to give back to the world.
I think the fact that there's so many incredible people who are STS finalists and Nobel Prize winners, it's driving really, because there are people in this group that I'm walking around in the halls with who will one day lift a Nobel Prize.
It's like almost every day I learn someone new is an STS finalist. You know, to join this alumni network of like elite people, it still hasn't sunk in yet.
People think like, oh, I'm just a student, there's no way I can like actually make an impact through my words and like through my work, but I think that's not true at all.
I hope by having events like the STS, by having this kind of platform, I can have a similar influence on other young scientists in the future.
Now this just shows to me that like I can go anywhere in my life. Like I can be an investor like Haley Bay Barna. I can become a CEO. I'm not afraid of failure and I'm not doubting myself anymore. Like I know I have it because everyone does.
Wow, what an unforgettable week for these students. Tonight's finalists are not just brilliant young scientists. Among them are athletes and dancers, musicians and debaters, journalists, yay, and social advocates. They are dedicated to giving back to their communities and those in need through volunteering and tutoring and creating new solutions to our world's most urgent challenges. So let's get to know a little bit more about our finalists now.
Miriam Abdelazim, Central Bucks High School East, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Already a leader of several STEM-related clubs, including her school's chapter of Girls Who Code, Miriam dreams of launching her own drug development company. In her free time, she enjoys tennis and skiing and loves to draw intricate henna designs for friends and family. Saraswati Amjad, Tesla STEM High School, Redmond, Washington. Saraswati, who implemented machine learning for illegal logging detection in her project, says that the ability to solve problems through coding is super exciting to her. In college, Saraswati hopes to continue researching the vast array of unexplored AI applications for social good. Aurora, Del Norte High School, San Diego, California. Arev is the founder of Speak Your Thoughts, an organization that provides free public speaking tutoring to underserved students. In his spare time, Arev likes reading about sports and hopes to work in sports analytics, where he can use data to help prevent injury and increase safety. Aditi Avinash, Rock Canyon High School, Highlands Ranch, Colorado. A baker, Aditi was inspired to pursue her project on gluten intolerance out of the belief that no one should go a lifetime without cake. Aditi loves that the innovations of research can help tackle everyday problems. Her biggest advice for young scientists: be passionate. Herschel Avlani, bassist Chandler, Arizona. A pianist and aviation enthusiast, Herschel's dream job would be to sit and think about hard problems, so a researcher is probably the closest career. While research is like digging a rabbit hole fueled by curiosity, he says the satisfaction of finally reaching a conclusion is unmatched. Arev Bhargava, the Potomac School, McLean, Virginia. Arev is a competitive swimmer and the founder of NPR award-winning podcast, The Prosthetic Experience. His research is deeply concerned with prosthetic accessibility, and he hopes to distribute his device globally to the millions who need it. Arev will study biomedical engineering at Harvard. Alan Boo, Phillips Exeter Academy, Exeter, New Hampshire. Alan loves playing chess, mahjong, and all kinds of card games. The tournament director for his school's math club competition, Alan also loves math research, especially those gotcha moments of inspiration. To young scientists, he advises, give it your all and never give up. David Lou Tall, Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, Alexandria, Virginia. David says finding out he was an STS finalist felt like winning a Nobel Prize. The captain of his school's computational physics club, David plans to study astrophysics and astronomy in college. But his ultimate mission is to uncover the mysteries of the universe. Arnav N. Chakravarti, Homestead High School, Cupertino, California. Arnav enjoys hiking and reading sci-fi novels, especially those that share his fascination with biotechnology. He hopes to study bioengineering in school and to positively impact the world through novel biotech solutions such as cellular therapeutics for disease, a concept explored in his project. Sophie Chen, Caddo Parish Magnet High School, Shreveport, Louisiana. Sophie credits her parents and meaningful childhood memories, like peering at mice corneas through an electron microscope, with her interest in pursuing scientific research. Outside of STEM, Sophie loves books and has been learning how to read and write in Mandarin. Thomas Kahn, Ossining High School, Ossining, New York. For young people interested in science, Thomas recommends focusing on the impact of your research rather than the technicalities. The human benefit is what matters, which may be why contributing to a cure for cancer is on his bucket list. Thomas also hopes to venture to Mars. Sophie Dalowin, Bronx High School of Science, Bronx, New York. A fan of murder mysteries and puzzles, Sophie hopes for a career researching the rifts between classical and quantum worlds, or maybe designing and building spacecraft. A future physics major, Sophie encourages all aspiring scientists to remember that negative results are still good results. Sophie Gao, Hunter College High School, New York, New York. Sophie hopes to be a physician and is also interested in medical journalism. A leader on several school publications, she admires writers who make complex medical issues accessible to the public. Sophie also enjoys the cello and taking walks with her dog Mocha. William Gao, Centennial High School, Ellicott City, Maryland. In his free time, William creates pop science videos and experiments with science storytelling through social media. His dream path includes founding an AI biotech startup and fencing in the Summer Nationals category for veterans over 80, although he acknowledges this is quite a few years away. Sarang Goel, Texas Academy of Mathematics and Science, Denton, Texas. Sarang's hobbies include kayaking in nearby lakes and camping, and he can't wait to explore national parks around the country during his college years. He plans to attend Stanford University and continue working on wearable devices for those with mobility limitations. Jacob Tyler Gross, Roslyn High School, Roslyn Heights, New York. A devotee of outdoor activities like sailing and skiing, Jacob believes climate change is the biggest challenge facing today's youth, and that it's their responsibility to act now. For his project, Jacob investigated another significant worldwide problem: antibody treatment efficacy against COVID-19. Luke Huang, New Canaan High School, New Canaan, Connecticut. After witnessing the devastating impacts of Hurricane Ida, Luke was inspired to begin acting locally and is the founder of multiple environmental sustainability initiatives. A runner and poet, Luke's bucket list includes a road trip to all 50 states and baking the ultimate creamy cheesecake. Vincent Wei-Si Wang, Syosset High School, Syosset, New York. For an elementary school science fair, Vincent once made a propeller-driven toy car. An avid motorsports enthusiast, he now dreams of becoming a leader in Formula One. Vincent is also a lifelong fan of the New England Patriots and a guitarist specializing in blues and jazz. Howard G., University High School, Irvine, California. Howard's project addresses the critical need to update bridge inspection technologies. He aims to continue studying engineering in college and dreams of one day having his own lab with an entire research community to support his investigations. One of Howard's favorite hobbies? Flying kites. Aman Rai Singh Kalon, Sanford School, Hockessin, Delaware. Rai's primary suggestion for future researchers is to enjoy the process. The scientific journey is as important as the final product. Rai, who likes mountain biking on local trails, intends to major in neuroscience at the University of Pennsylvania on a pre-medical track. Gavriela Beatrice Kalis Schur, Julia R. Masterman High School, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Gavriela sees mental health issues as a great threat to well-being for young people today and tackled this problem head-on with her investigation into a potential neurological cause of anxiety. A singer and volleyball player, Gavriela plans to study neuroscience in college. Zainab N. Kaya, Saratoga High School, Saratoga, California. Zainab learned firsthand that when pursuing science, having the confidence to step beyond the expected is what will help you carve your own influential path. Zainab plans to continue her studies in computer science and linguistics, and in her free time practices clay making and crochet. Natasha Kolviwat, Jericho High School, Jericho, New York. One of Natasha's first presents was a pop-up book about the brain. Since then, this future neuroscience major has spent hundreds of hours analyzing brain tissue in the lab. Outside of it, Natasha enjoys captaining her Science Bowl team and playing the ukulele. Alexis Lee, Hamilton High School, Chandler, Arizona. Alexis dabbles in 2 and 3D animation and is the founder of a cross-generational pickleball club in her local community. When it comes to research, Alexis acknowledges that entering a new field can be daunting, but the challenge is part of the thrill. Alexandra Mahajan, Cambridge Rindge and Latin School, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Classically trained as a cellist and chorister, Alexandra is a self-taught producer who recently released her first pop album. But ever since she was little, Alexandra has wanted to be an astronaut. She'll pursue both passions with a major in astrophysics and a minor in music. Akash Mittal, Westview High School, Portland, Oregon. Akash founded a club to increase research participation at his school and teaches math to elementary and middle school students, the ages of his own memorable first encounters with science. Most days you'll find Akash in the MMA gym. He says sparring days are his favorite. Ramon Moreno Jr., Thousand Oaks High School, Thousand Oaks, California. Runner and flautist Ramon hopes to continue his project's work as an aging and longevity researcher. Inspired by his own mentor, he also hopes to pay it forward as a mentor to future generations of aspiring scientists. His advice to them is simple: believe in yourself. Ella Pilasek, Oviedo High School, Oviedo, Florida. Ella's many hobbies include archery, horseback riding, and collecting vintage postcards. As part of her research, Ella trained honeybees to promote the pollination of an endangered orchid species. She'll pursue academia and her life science interests in the field of animal behavior and ecology. Achyuta Rajaram, Phillips Exeter Academy, Exeter, New Hampshire. Achyuta, who sought to better understand how algorithms think, wants to spend his career as a machine learning researcher. He hopes to reverse engineer intelligence and figure out the building blocks that make us tick. A jazz drummer and big reader, Achyuta will attend MIT. Ria Rastogi, Loveless Academic Magnet Program High School, Montgomery, Alabama. Ria recalls identifying insects in kindergarten and wondering if she too could emerge from a butterfly cocoon with wings of her own. Still a nature fanatic, Ria now seeks a combined MD, PhD with a further goal of advising policymakers on ethics and equity in healthcare. Kan Young Ro, Bronx High School of Science, Bronx, New York. Kyle enjoys Russian literature and playing the clarinet. You might even spot him in Central Park busking with friends. As a child, Kyle promised his grandparents he'd develop a cure for age-related diseases. He hopes to one day launch a life-saving biotech company that does just that. Linus Tang, Davidson Academy Online, Reno, Nevada. Linus hopes to put his skills in mathematics and theoretical computer science to work tackling AI alignment and climate change, two of what he believes to be the world's most pressing challenges. A pianist, A recent favorite from Linus's repertoire is Debussy's Arabesque No. 1. Ria Tiagi, Phillips Exeter Academy, Exeter, New Hampshire. The founder of one of the first all-female and non-binary Boy Scout troops in the country, Ria's bucket list includes visiting the Amazon rainforest and building an AI model to uncover patterns in animal communication. She says we have much to learn from the wildlife around us. Grant Wang, Williamsville East High School, East Amherst, New York. A language aficionado, Grant developed a tool capable of identifying offensive content across 100 different languages. He aspires to be a professor and to see his work implemented on social media platforms to improve the mental health and safety of users across the globe. Michelle Way, The Harker School, San Jose, California. Michelle loves teaching. She recently spearheaded an initiative that produced over 100 math and programming videos, enabling students to learn advanced subjects anytime, anywhere. Her guidance to young researchers is to embrace challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth. Nathan Way, Buchholz High School, Gainesville, Florida. Nathan intends to major in chemistry, and since the 7th grade has volunteered for Molecular Mania, a chemistry outreach program at his local mall. Curiosity is what will keep a young scientist motivated, Nathan counsels. So find what interests you and go for it. Julianne Wu, University High School, Irvine, California. Julianne loves adventures of all kinds, from scuba diving to visiting art museums on her travels. A history buff, Julianne says her historical research helped inform the disparities she sought to address in her project, which examines the effect of hormones on cardiovascular health. Selena Jung, North Hunterdon High School, Annandale, New Jersey. A violinist and photographer, Selena also creates comics. One of her favorite character designs is a villainous version of the spotted lanternfly, the invasive species that her prototype seeks to eliminate. Intent on discovering how our world works, Selena will study biology. Christopher Zorn, Irvington High School, Irvington, New York. Christopher volunteers at his local nature center, a gig that allows him to make a difference while learning new skills, like cloning endangered apple trees. He urges students to remember that science is collaborative. While few scientists may change the world, most will better it. Charisse Zoe, Doherty Valley High School, San Ramon, California. Charisse enjoys memoirs, soccer, and selling her homegrown honey to promote environmental sustainability. A future neurosurgeon, Charisse ultimately hopes that when she's old and wrinkly, still tending to the bees in her backyard, she'll have lived a bold life of curiosity and wonder.
Let's hear it for the Regeneron Science Talent Search Class of 2024. Congratulations. Now, it is an annual tradition during STS to elect a class speaker, a recognition named in honor of nuclear chemist Dr. Glenn T. Seaborg. Among his many achievements, Dr. Seaborg was a Nobel laureate, an advisor to several US presidents, and discoverer of 10 atomic elements, one of which, Seaborgium, even bears his name. A champion of upholding the public's understanding of science and education, Dr. Seaborg also served on the Society's Board of Trustees for 30 years. In this capacity, he was a mentor and an inspiration to over 1,000 Science Talent Search finalists. To honor his legacy each year, the finalists choose one voice among them who best exemplifies their class and shares Dr. Seaborg's extraordinary ability to inspire a passion for science in others. So please join me in congratulating the 2024 Glenn T. Seaborg Award winner, Aditi Avinash. Congratulations to you. We'll get your award. Thank you. And we'll take a photo right here. Can you carry this photo?
I want to start off by thanking both Regeneron and the Society for Science for bringing together this incredible group of 40 friends and giving us not only a life-changing opportunity, but an experience that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. I also want to especially thank my fellow finalists for nominating me to speak for the class, because as I speak to you this evening, I don't just represent myself and my experience, but hopefully the experience and the feelings of 39 other students. Personally, I love that moment right before I wake up, when the wispy cobwebs of my brain thread together to form a coherent ball of consciousness, when half my brain is still wandering in the dreams of last night, but the possibilities of the new day seem limitless. And to me, the strange state between the conscious and the unconscious is a lot like STS. Because similar to the few moments of aspiration we find in this in-between state, our time at STS has taught us to hold on to the sense of boundless possibility. We've learned to test our limits and to consider the unknown from multiple angles. We've learned through judging that 4 individual Lego pieces can somehow create a human. Through our time visiting the White House and meeting Office of Science and Technology Policy Director, Dr. Arthi Prabhakar, we've become inspired to think of innovative ways to use science to foster meaningful change. By learning to present to people of varying educational backgrounds during Public Day, we've learned the importance of science communication. But most importantly, throughout the course of this week, we've learned that somehow 40 individuals, 40 diverse thinkers with a plethora of personalities, interests, and strengths somehow fit perfectly together, creating a group of lifelong friends. And if I had to describe STS in one word, it would be belonging. While I was excited to come to finals week, a larger part of me was nervous about how I would fit in with a group of some of the smartest and most accomplished high schoolers in our nation. Quite simply, I had imposter syndrome. But when I arrived at STS, actually when we arrived at STS, this false fear was very quickly put to rest. The vibrant and animated community of peers I encountered was not only genuine, but incredibly authentic. And together we actively explored and asked questions about each other's research and interests, forging meaningful connections that I'm sure will last a lifetime, and celebrating our differences. Whether it was these spirited ping pong matches in the lounge, which it turns out the hotel did not appreciate, to discussing attempts at solving complex judging questions, or simply lending an ear to a fellow finalist's recount of their day, we embraced our interactions wholeheartedly, finding meaning in the seemingly mundane. And what I've come to realize is this: the same sense of belonging and safety that made us willing to take risks, made us willing to embrace this in-between state and explore the unknown. Together, we've learned to find comfort in the unexpected and learned that with the right group of friends and with the right support, anything is possible. And as we leave DC and go our separate ways, we must remember that we will forever be connected by that same string of belonging that fosters our creativity, boundless thinking, and ultimately, our growth and friendship. So I urge you to seek out belonging every day while also taking risks. Make a change in the world, try a new idea, or explore a new concept. Let's continue to harness our creativity and foster meaningful scientific and social change. Because remember, the only promise in life is the potential of endless possibility. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Aditi, thank you so much, and congratulations to you on behalf of Regeneron and, of course, Society for Science. Like Aditi, each of our finalists has expressed their gratitude to those who have helped them achieve success. And on their behalf, I would like to take this moment to recognize the teachers, the mentors, the research advisors, and of course, the families who have supported and encouraged these exceptional students in their pursuit of scientific innovation. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, it goes without saying that the Science Talent Search is a demanding competition, beginning with an initial pool of nearly 2,000 entrants. 300 scholars were selected by a panel of evaluators for their exceptional research skills. Many of those evaluators are with us here tonight, and we would like to thank them for their service. Thank you. From those 300 scholars, the prestigious Final 40 that you see before you were then selected on the basis of creativity, scientific rigor, and the world-changing potential of their research. Over the last few days, each finalist has presented their research to the esteemed judging panel and participated in individual interviews designed to evaluate overall knowledge of science, complex problem solving, and innovative thinking beyond their own field of study. So now I'd like to introduce the chair of the Regeneron Science Talent Search Judging Panel from Vanderbilt University, Professor of Mechanical Engineering and Deputy Director of the Vanderbilt Institute of Nanoscale Science and Engineering. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jason Valentine.
All right, good evening. I know I speak for the entire judging panel when I say that this week has been a remarkable opportunity to meet the future of science. It has been our great pleasure to get to know the finalists and learn about their truly fascinating research. I'd like to thank my colleagues on the panel for dedicating their time, their resources to ensuring that each finalist had a thorough adjudication. Sorry about that. I'd like to take a chance to recognize my colleagues on the panel and thank them for their service. They are Dr. Helen Buse, Dr. Brent Carey, Dr. Nyasha Chambwe, Dr. Vade Chirayath, Dr. Jacinta Conrad, who is a 1995 STS alumnus, Dr. Keith Crawford, Dr. Shomit Josgupta, also a 1995 STS alum, Dr. Martha Davila Garcia, Dr. Jonah Erlebacher, who's a 1987 STS alumnus, Dr. Daniel Evans, Dr. Claudine Gartenberg, a 1992 STS alumnus, Dr. Dan Grohlman, a 1999 STS alum, Dr. Beth Kozel, Dr. Rachel Lazarus, Dr. Dawei Lin, Dr. Derek Morton, Dr. Sohini Ramachandran, also 1998 STS alum, Dr. Ben Raphael, a 1992 STS alum, Dr. Martha Rhodes, Dr. Naomi Taylor, 1980 STS alum, Dr. Josh Watson, and Dr. Melanie Matchett Wood. We are also grateful to all those all you, who have nurtured these young scientists and helped them to achieve so much so early in their career. Now, I'd like to invite Maya and George back to the stage for the moment we've all been anticipating. It is my honor to announce the top prize winners of the 2024 Regeneron Science Talent Search. The envelope, please. You ready? The 10th place winner and the recipient of a $40,000 award from Phillips Exeter Academy in Exeter, New Hampshire, Alan Boo. Okay. The 9th place winner and the recipient of a $50,000 award from Homestead High School in Cupertino, California, Arnav Chakravarthi. The 8th place winner and the recipient of a $60,000 award from North Hunterdon High School in Annandale, New Jersey, Selena Zhang. The 7th place winner and the recipient of a $70,000 award from Oviedo High School in Oviedo, Florida, Ella Pilasek. The 6th place winner and the recipient of a $80,000 award from Irvington High School in Irvington, New York, Christopher Zorn. The fifth place winner and the recipient of a $90,000 award from Saratoga High School in Saratoga, California, Zainab Kaya. Congratulations. The fourth place winner and recipient of a $100,000 award from Buchholz High School in Gainesville, Florida, Nathan Way. Okay. The third place winner and the recipient of a $150,000 award from the Harker School in San Jose, California, Michelle Way. The second place winner and recipient of a $175,000 award from Ossining High School in Ossining, New York, Thomas Kong. Okay. The first place winner and the recipient of a $250,000 award.
Should we take a little break now?
You guys ready? From Phillips Exeter Academy in Exeter, New Hampshire, Achyuta Rajaram. Oh.
Great job. That was amazing. My pleasure. Congratulations to our top 10 winners of the 2024 Regeneron Science Talent Search. On behalf of Society for Science and Regeneron, thank you again for joining us this evening. If you are a incoming high school senior and you are inspired by this group, how could you not be? Please know you can learn more about Regeneron STS on the Society's website, the 2025 applications, official rules, eligibility guidelines, all available on June 1st. Congratulations to every one of the brilliant finalists up here tonight. Thank you for inspiring all of us. We wish you the best in your future endeavors. Good night, everybody.